we have to constantly be vigilant and on guard so that the church doesn't get wrapped up into that. And that's not simply a financial thing, as this maybe is alluding to more. It's in everything, right? The doctrine, the policies, the movements of the day, and ensure that the church doesn't allow itself to get too consumed by those either, and that's a balance. It's sometimes that's a hard line to draw. But I know the brethren try to do it the best that they can. And by and large, for the most part, I think they do a really good job of that. We each have our preference on things we'd like to see or things we'd like them to say. But I think by and large, they do a really good job of navigating the ever-changing, and expeditingly changing environment of the world in which we find ourselves today.
I'm looking forward to 1 hour church.
That's next up.
That's the direction we're trending, isn't
it? That's right.
Okay. Okay, so he says that the church may stand independent above all, that you may come up unto the crown prepared for you, and be made rulers over many kingdoms, saith the Lord God, the Holy One of Zion, who hath established the foundations of Adam-diamond, who hath appointed Michael your prince, and established his feet, and set him upon high, and given unto him the keys of salvation under the counsel and direction of the Holy One, who is without beginning of days or end of life. Now that's some deep doctrine right there. It's the kind of thing Brigham Young liked a little too much. What's interesting here is when I first read these verses, it starts mentioning the Lord God, the Holy One of Zion, and under the direction of Holy One of, and it was a little strange to me because the section header that has the kind of the summary descriptions of the verses, it says Michael, and then it says Adam in parentheses, under the direction of the Holy One, and then it says Christ in parentheses, which seems, fair enough. But when I read this, it kind of gives me different vibes, because when I think of who established Adam-diamond, I think of God the Father. It's an extension of the garden. Holy One of Zion, who gave the keys of salvation to Michael, right? That very much like who held the keys of salvation in the creation. Well, it was first and foremost from the Father. So I really feel like when it's talking about the Holy One, like the man of holiness is his name, that refers to God the Father. This may be very semantic, like I'm getting too far into the weeds here, but it is somewhat significant here, the doctrinal implications of this, because it's really talking about the order of priesthood being passed from God the Father to Michael as, the patriarch of this world. And there's even a reference to this in the temple endowment today, right? He was first given the keys of the priesthood. From whom? From the Father. And then there was the fall, and then Christ came and reclaimed those keys through the atonement and through overcoming death. Thank you for watching. If you found this content spiritually enlightening, please like, comment, and subscribe.
Like the gospel, these little things make all the difference, and it helps the algorithm push out better content for everyone to enjoy on YouTube.